With a fast-growing and large aviation market, on paper, India is probably one of the best places to start an airline. However, it has been highly competitive and some airlines, especially national airline Air India, has been struggling, and there have been some notable airlines that have shut down operations. One of the most notable airline companies to have shut down its operations in recent years is Kingfisher Airlines, which, while being a favorite among travelers in India, it couldn't sustain its promise of maintaining a luxury standard of air travel. For that reason, Kingfisher Airlines is the latest installment in a series called Closed, which primarily features airlines from the Asia Pacific which have since shut down operations. Kingfisher Airlines was a project to start an airline by Indian businessman Vijay Mallya, who was the head of the United Breweries company based at Bengaluru, India. The airline was initially established in 2003 with the intent to bring luxury travel, including flatbed seats, starting with the Indian domestic market. It wasn't until 2 years later, on May 9, 2005, when the airline launched its maiden flight between Mumbai and New Delhi. With an initial fleet of 4 Airbus A320s, Mallya and Kingfisher Air set out to start somewhat of a revolution in the aviation industry in the country. During its formative months, it gained a following of travelers with positive reviews, and the factors for this could be summed up by a statement by Mallya to the Hindustan Times in a report in 2009. In that report, Mallya stated, quote, "We have introduced a host of innovations that are market firsts. We treat those who fly with us as honored guests and serve them the finest food. Before and after a flight, they are treated with the full complement of ground services. We offer our guests the promises that they will be treated with dignity, respect, and care. More importantly, we will give our guests the best value for their money." The services of Kingfisher Air did not disappoint travelers, especially with a segment of market of the corporate traveler. Other things that travelers would notice would be the TV screens for each seat, and travelers would get a goodie bag. Not only was a luxury experience for domestic travel, it was very much bringing the international luxury travel experience to the Indian domestic market. With these features and delights for travelers, it was at its peak the second largest airline in India based on market share. However, bringing the luxury travel experience to India's domestic market proved costly, as the airline reported losses in subsequent years after its launch. Despite that, Kingfisher Air still had global ambitions, and it wanted to launch international flights, though the problem was that Indian carriers are required by law to have 5 years of airline operations before it could get certification to fly abroad. Looking to turn its financial situation and tap into the international market, it found a way to circumvent those regulations with the purchase of a stake in Air Deccan in 2007. Kingfisher Air, through the parent United Breweries, purchased a stake of 26% in Air Deccan worth around 5.5 billion Indian rupee. With an initial plan to merge operations, it then decided to turn Air Deccan to a subsidiary of Kingfisher Red, which operated as a domestic budget airline. While Kingfisher Air got what it wanted to start international flights, it proved to be a major factor in the fall of the airline, which many observers point to the lack of due diligence in overseeing the books of Air Deccan. Adding to the challenges was the 2008 global financial crisis. Still soldiering on, the airline launched its first commercial international flights from Bangalore to London using wide-body Airbus A330-200 jets. To support its international expansion plans, Kingfisher Air ordered 5 Airbus A350-800s and 5 Airbus A380 Super Jumbos from Airbus, even as its financial obligations continued to grow into the 2010s. It was during this time that the problem started to mount. Even as it was getting funding and financial assistance from the likes of the state banks of India, passengers were not getting their meals on time, and in some cases that the meals service were delayed, even while the passengers were also treated to unlimited beer. When flights were delayed, travelers were given 5-star accommodations with unlimited snacks and beer. While these were treats for passengers, it only made its problems worse, and it would only be a matter of time before it came to a reckoning. That reckoning came in a series of events, starting with the cessation of operations of Kingfisher Red in 2011, followed by international flight suspensions in April of 2012. With losses mounting of around 8,200 crore, India's Director General of Civil Aviation suspended the airline's license in October of 2012. At its peak, Kingfisher Air operated a total of 69 aircraft, including the ATR-42 and 72 turboprop aircraft, along with the mostly Airbus A320 family of jets, and the 5 Airbus A330-200s. While travelers were treated in flight and giving positive reviews, the story is seen different by the 3,000 former employees who filed a lawsuit against Malia in 2016 worth around 300 crore, with this amount for unpaid wages. With this and other legal challenges, Malia later fled to the United Kingdom, where he does remain there today. Kingfisher Air is a cautionary tale in terms of having a popular airline, yet if it fails to take care of the business side, it would later lead to a demise. Another note that while it was a refreshing take to bring luxury travel for India's domestic scene, we shouldn't ignore the fact that India is definitely a rough place for airlines to be operating with the high operating costs and intense competition for both domestic and international travel markets from the country. In other airlines such as Emirates or Qatar Airways, we do see that the proposition of luxury can work, though there is a line where to draw when it becomes unsustainable to commit to that kind of service. What's your thoughts on the failure of Kingfisher Air, and if you have any experiences with traveling with them? We definitely would love to hear those stories. In the meantime, I hope you enjoyed this video. This has been Flights in Asia, highlighting the news and updates from the aviation and travel scene in the Asia Pacific. If you like this video, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, thank you again for watching and have a great day.